Good afternoon to everybody. We're here on the ground in Punjab en route to the holy city of Amritsar, and we have a massive piece of breaking news on Operation Sindoor. Now, Punjab, in many ways, is emerging as another front line of rising tensions between India and Pakistan after Indian missiles hit terror bases not just in POJK but inside Pakistan, Punjab. The big news is that in retaliatory action, India has targeted the air defense systems and radars of Pakistan in the cities of Lahore, Karachi, Rawalpindi, and Sialkot. I'm Barkha Dutt, and let's get straight to it. This morning, the people of Lahore woke up to these images. Not many understood what was happening. There was a cloud of smoke near the airport, and we also saw images of people in Lahore scrambling out onto the streets. In another set of images, you see a bomb disposal squad being deployed on the streets of Lahore, and not many were able to tell what actually was happening. Well, now we know. India has officially said that in retaliatory action, an air defense system of Lahore has been neutralized. Pakistan's air defense systems and radars in the cities of Lahore, Karachi, Rawalpindi, and Sialkot were also targeted. Though the cities have not been named in the official press release, the air defense system of Lahore being neutralized is in the official statement from the government, and highly placed sources are telling us that the other cities included Karachi, Rawalpindi, and Sialkot. The official government statement does confirm that multiple locations in Pakistan were targeted in terms of their air defense systems and radars only. Let's be very clear, civilian areas were not targeted, but yes, Pakistan's air defense systems and radars were targeted, and one has been neutralized in Lahore. Now, why did India do this? This is also explained. Now, let me tell you, through the night, I was spending the night in Chandigarh as I was making my way to Amritsar. And we kept getting calls from people in Amritsar, Jalandhar, and Bhatinda. And they told us that they heard loud explosions at night. Many citizens from their balconies and so on filmed the skyline. You're seeing some of those images from Amritsar, and they couldn't understand what was happening. There were orange balls of fire in the Amritsar skyline. And at that time, the police only said, don't panic, stay at home. This is a drill. Well, it wasn't a drill. It was the real thing. We now know from a very detailed press statement from India that Pakistan was trying to engage rather, military targets in several cities of Punjab, as well as other cities in the north and the west of India. And this includes the holy city of Amritsar. You're seeing the Golden Temple on your screen, the seat of the Darbar Sahib, military targets in the holy city of Amritsar. There was an attempt by Pakistan to engage military targets, including in the sacred city of Amritsar, and this in particular made our side extremely enraged, because for millions of Indians it is a sacred place. Of course, that's the image of a projectile landing from the Pakistani side in a border village near Amritsar. So Amritsar was targeted, and India hit back after neutralizing Pakistan's attempts. I want to bring in our guest today. We are joined by General Sharma. General Sharma is, of course, a military veteran, and we're very glad to have his expertise with us. Sir, this is very big news. Now, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh told an all-party meeting today that 100 terrorists at least have been killed. But one of the other very important things he said was that Operation Sindoor is still ongoing. And now it is quite obvious. I'm here on the ground in Punjab. I'm making my way to Amritsar. And we have now information that in retaliatory action, India has targeted the air defense systems and radars of Pakistan. This is retaliation for what Pakistan tried to do and failed through the night, including in Amritsar, sir. And sir, I'm here. I was getting calls from people. Unko samajh nahi aa raha tha ki kya ho raha hai. They were seeing orange balls of fire. We did not report it because we wanted to wait. And now we have the clarity, and we've hit back air systems in Lahore, Karachi, Rawalpindi, and Sialkot. General Sharma, your take on this development? It's a big development.
Yeah, thank you, Barkha. The fact is that we also heard there were lights out, lights switched off in Amritsar at night, and did give an impression. And naturally, people were saying there were some sounds heard, but we were trying to assuage the feeling, saying that it's nothing like that. But the fact of the matter is that Pakistan has a low window, a short window to take retaliatory action. They couldn't wait for 2 weeks. They'll come under tremendous amount of pressure. So they have now, they decided to come on the first night itself, like they normally do, night after the thing. And they hit 15 places. See, the kind 6,000, nearly 2,500 kilometers from Srinagar, Avantipura, Jammu, right up to Bhuj, all along the border, the entire lot of airfields they were targeting. And if you recollect, in last yesterday we have been talking 2-3 times when we spoke. We said, which targets will the Pakistanis find? And there are no terrorist camps here, so they will either find the airfields, so they'll find the military cantonments. They can't hit the infrastructure. The reciprocal action will be too much for them. So they did try the thing, and they used. I am not very sure if missiles were used. There is confusion. There is still fog of war as yet, but it seems like that they certainly used drones of a sophisticated variety, which were tried to target the airfields, and they were all downed by the systemic method in which our air defenses have been configured along the Western Front, and they were all brought down earlier. And naturally, in response, and as our press statement clearly says, that what we will do is equal measure response, and we don't want to escalate. We mentioned here also today also that we do not wish to escalate in that tone, but we did strike across here, and we went right up to Rawalpindi. Rawalpindi is far. It's not close by. It's not Lahore, but we tried Rawalpindi, and I'm sure it was headed towards the army headquarters, the GHQ, but it was brought down on the cricket stadium in Rawalpindi. The one item which has been destroyed, as rightly pointed out, is Lahore's air defense system. Now, HQ9 actually is S300. Now, we have S400 in India. The S300, the previous version of the Russians, were taken over by the Chinese and reconfigured, like they do, tod ke naya bana diya, and they call it HQ9. And Pakistan got HQ9, which is like S300. They've also got HQ9SE, which is like S400, but a little weaker variety. But this is reconfigured Chinese equipment, so it's not been tested in that manner. So we've been able to destroy an HQ9 battery, or the setup there in Lahore, which is a great step, a great targeting. And I think the item we used is HEROP. HEROP is a electro-optical seeker, which goes and targets. It's a later variety of what we initially talked about, Harpy. Then we got a later variety called HEROP from Israel, and which actually are an electro-optical system, a very sophisticated system which targets it across there. So we have also, ISPR says we use 12 drones at night in the daytime, but some news items say 22. So again, fog of war, one doesn't know how many areas, how many pinpoint targets. We have not informed as to what we were hitting. Naturally, the information will come through, but it is apparent that we tried focused targeting across to major places across into Pakistan, and not only the airfields. It's not only the airfields. Sialkot has got a minor thing. So we were targeting military establishment as a quid pro quo. And I do not know, of course, there is another news item saying that the NSAs spoke to each other. Now, somebody has to clarify whether our NSA spoke to. You remember their NSAs, the DGISI has just taken over as the NSA in Pakistan. So if they have spoken to de-escalate or something like that, those things have to be clarified. United States has called all citizens and Lahore to vacate. So these tensions are heightened. The tensions are heightened. They are sophisticated equipment. But one gets anxious that the next step would be a missile and not drone. And if it is a missile, and I'm now talking about cruise missiles and not ballistic, because it becomes ballistic missile, you get one more step forward. And in missiles case, you can't make out whether it is conventional or what. You don't know the warhead on top of it, especially in the Pakistan system of things. So Barkha, this is anxious times for both sides, and one hopes the senior council prevails on Pakistan and it takes a step back from the kind of precipice that it has brought us into.
General Sharma, thank you for that very detailed account. I want to understand a few things, so please forgive me if my questions are a little generic, because I'm a reporter on the military, but not a military expert like you. You said that there's a fog of war about whether Pakistan used drones or missiles when it was trying to engage military targets across cities in Punjab and other parts of of North India, and these attempts were neutralized. But when the people of Amritsar, Jalandhar, Bhatinda were seeing orange clouds in the sky, and this is a projectile that has come in from the Pakistan side, and at that moment to calm people, a drill was enforced. Ki bhai ghar baitho, bahar mat niklo. It was actually the real thing. It was not a mock drill. It was handled very calmly, and people were told that look, it's a drill, ghar baitho. Now, what I want to ask you is. Amritsar, the targeting of Amritsar. I've been speaking to a number of people in government, and they said in particular there is a kind of sense of fury that Amritsar, which is a holy city, which is the seat of the Darbar Sahib, the Golden Temple is sacred to millions of Indians, not only to Sikhs, right? That there was an attempt to engage with targets in Amritsar, particularly enrage the Indian side. Talk a little bit about, Punjab. I think Pakistan can't get over the fact that Indian missiles hit Lashkar targets inside Punjab, Muridke being like Gurgaon is to Delhi. So talk a little bit about the significance of that.
So, Barkha, I don't want to drag this issue in Amritsar. I too have got a lot of interest there. But if I count the airfields that which have been listed by our PIB release, it is in Punjab alone. It is Pathankot, Amritsar, Adhampur, Ludhiana. Chandigarh. So nearly all airfields, when you start counting, have they left any airfield on the western front? They've gone to Falodi.
Can I read? Can I read out the airfield, sir, just so that everybody knows? Pakistan attempted to engage a number of military targets. These include Avantipura, Srinagar, which is of course in the Kashmir Valley, Jammu, and then you come to Punjab and look at how many places in Punjab: Pathankot, Amritsar, Kapurthala, Jalandhar, Ludhiana, Adhampur, Bhatinda, Chandigarh. Then you come to Nal, Falodi, Uttarlai, and Bhuj using drones and missiles. Sir, our press release says that Pakistan has used both drones and missiles, and therefore the retaliation has been fierce.
So the only place that I find a little awkward in the list that you are reading is Kapurthala. So Kapurthala has no airfield. So what were they targeting Kapurthala? There may be some knowledge base which we do not have as to why Kapurthala becomes important. It's a satellite city it's a Gurgaon of Jalandhar. So it's a satellite city. It isn't. There is a Saini school there, but then there's nothing that kind. There may be some thought process behind it, but I would say that Amritsar is because Amritsar airfield is so closest to them. Easiest place to hit in the along the border is Amritsar airfield. It is a stone's throw across from the border, and it's also located further towards Khasa side, which is the Lahore side, and therefore Amritsar. And actually, the name Amritsar evokes great amount of emotions in people of India, not only Sikhs but everybody else. Amritsar is really the holy city of all. But one would count it that Amritsar was taken as part and parcel of the entire lot of western airfields, and it is one more airfield tried out for them hitting it. And I agree now. I would also read the thing that they said missiles. So somewhere they used drones and somewhere they would have used missiles. And if we're able to down or missiles and drones both, then I think we must be patted on our back for very credible air defense show being put up by us, by the Air Force and the Army on the ground, and super job done at night.
Can you speak a little bit about the success, extreme success in neutralizing these very coordinated attempts using, as we are reading in the government statement, drones and missiles from the Pakistan side? In retaliation, India has targeted, neutralized an air defense system in Lahore, but also targeted air defense radars and systems in Pakistan in Rawalpindi, in Karachi, in Sialkot, and of course Lahore. And in Lahore, of course, if we could change the images now, people of Lahore woke up to sounds of those explosions and clouds of smoke. Can you talk about the significance of these four cities that India has retaliated in, targeting Pakistan's air defense systems and radars?
So if I count on it, of course, I'm sure Karachi must have been tried by the Indian Navy, because that would be the best way of targeting is from the Navy side. But and Karachi is a cosmopolitan city. But Sialkot is a border town. And Sialkot has got an airfield. It's also an international one, and it is important. Sialkot, as you know, is a city like Jalandhar, which is the home for all sports equipment worldwide. They're the largest exporters of sports equipment worldwide. Sialkot, very important city. And Lahore, of course, is Lahore and Rawalpindi. And I'm not very sure which all targets is, but there are many other places that we could have tried. I want to know if we tried Sargodha, Jacobabad, Gujranwala. These are very interesting names, not very far from the borders, but major cantonment. Sargodha is a very major airfield. Jacobabad was held by the Americans for a very long time when global war on terror was on. So suffice it to say that if the ISP are saying we hit 12 targets, then there is a larger ambit that we ought to know now in times as to what exactly we were trying to hit. And it shows the competence of us going, say, 100, see, sending a missile mounted on a Rafale to Bahawalpur 100 kilometers is one thing. That's a fast moving missile which goes across, and it will target it in fraction of a second. But a drone moves in a more slow and steady manner. To be effective, it can be easily targeted. And I am also aware that the Pakistani air defense is also fairly credible. We must not write off the Pakistani air defense. They have a whole lot of variety of equipment there. They have something called FD 2000, which is another variety of system. So there are many layered systems that the Pakistanis have got on air defense. And I would imagine that to reach Rawalpindi is very tough. To reach Lahore would have been, they would have had multi layers of the systems to protect Lahore, because it's so close to us. It's like Amritsar for us, and Lahore is, Pakistan is emotive about Lahore. But to say we were able to reach, there's a naval establishment also in Lahore. Major Adil, who blogs from UK, one of these rogue, of the Pakistan Army.
A former soldier of the Pakistan Army and a critic
Yeah.
today of the Pakistan Army. Yeah,
Yeah,
Adil
so
Raja, I think his name is
Adil Raja, you're
Yeah,
right. Adil Raja.
yeah.
He's writing saying that we tried to hit the naval establishment which were protected by the air defense battery, but it must be the airport. So whatever you might say, I think it's very credible that we were able to manipulate a harpy, a harop, to go across and hit it as an electro-optical. It wasn't. I'm not very sure it is anti-radiation. See, we have anti-radiation equipment also, which actually, if your radar is open, then it follows the radiation of the radar and goes and hits it in that area. So one is not sure exactly the kind of equipment we have utilized. Hats off, I think we've done fantastic job of reaching and tapping the doors of the GHQ. Yeah? If you are reaching Rawalpindi and hitting the cricket stadium, in fact,
I want that. I want that actually on my banner, that we have Rawalpindi. A lot of people who don't follow Pakistan do not know that Rawalpindi is the general headquarters, the GHQ of the Pakistan Army. And what General Sharma is saying, and can we please highlight that on our banner, is that India's retaliatory action went right to the gateway of the GHQ of the Pakistan Army, right? So talk a little bit about the GHQ, the significance of Rawalpindi and this cricket stadium. Could we please have the banner up? Yes, go ahead.
So, see, there's a cricket match on today in Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium, and the drone obviously couldn't have been going for the cricket stadium. It would have been targeted towards the GHQ. Great message being conveyed across there. It's what is called as a garrison town. Rawalpindi by nomenclature is called a garrison town, not very far from Islamabad. But when you say Rawalpindi, the ears rise up to say, okay, it is the army. Islamabad is the seat of the government, but Rawalpindi is the seat of the government de facto, which is the army. And if we are able to reach Rawalpindi safer, and then of course that time they woke up and they targeted it, and they didn't destroy it because he came and destroyed. The visuals show that it is hitting the facade of the I think visual being shown on your take also, facade of the cricket stadium. So I think it's very, very credible that it's been done there. It also shows that like we've been talking for last 48 hours, that we ought to not be complacent, and all that messages that given by Khwaja Asif, that all is peace, we will wrap it up, and we should not escalate it. This was all ruse that Khwaja Asif has been talking, the defense minister, and I think there was no need to be complacent, and we weren't complacent. We were expecting this to happen, and we were prepared for it. So hats off to the uniformed forces for doing fantastic work.
When you consider that Pakistan used drones and missiles, and I'm sorry if this is not a very expert question, I'm assuming that we have hit back with the same, because one of the things that the statement says, and I just want to read it out to you, sir, from the press statement. Today morning, Indian Armed Forces targeted air defense radars and systems at a number of locations in Pakistan. We know the locations to be Karachi, Rawalpindi, Sialkot, and Lahore. Of course, there could be others. Indian response has been in the same domain with the same intensity as Pakistan. It has reliably been learned that an air defense system at Lahore has been neutralized. Now, we don't say what we used. We say that Pakistan used drones and missiles, but to be able to target air defense systems at the GHQ of the Pakistan Army in Rawalpindi, I assume we are now talking about missile warfare, and this is well beyond drones. Sir, I can't
Loitering
hear you, sir. Sir, start again, sir, please.
So I presume that few will be loitering ammunition, which are autonomous in nature, which have just been pre-fed into what targeted. So there may not be a human in the loop on the system we have utilized, and which is gone across to distant areas on their own, and not being controlled by own side, but with having the right coordinates and right message. So see, anything that hits across on the opposite side, we might call it a drone, or but it is actually de facto a missile. It's got a warhead, a substantial warhead, and the warhead, and it's got its own mind. It's going across on its own. It's got a target fixed on his mind, and it's going to go hit across there. So I think I said yesterday morning on your show also that one of these things that come up very nicely is that we have not only used coordination between the services, which was every time we've been challenged on our coordination between the services, but we also use technology fantastically. So we have moved in this direction of saying, okay, we understand technology, and we may be still transforming, but we have the capacity to use technology. So I hear the word loitering ammunition somewhere, which makes it that we would have used something which has got the photograph of the GHQ in his mind and told him to go, okay, yaar, bache jao, aur wahan jaake thok do. So, some kind of, which becomes like a missile only. So a missile, quality of missile has been used. See, till the time we get more facts as to what kind of things were used, it will be futile to conjecture. But let's say at this time that we did what we did, and we did successfully.
What happens now? The fact is that Pakistan has been embarrassed, the Pakistan army, I should say. One, because of Operation Sindoor and targeting them at their nerve center in Punjab. Muridke to Lahore is like Gurgaon to Delhi, I like to say, it's that close. Bahawalpur, of course, which is the Jaish-e-Mohammad base, and now air defense systems in Rawalpindi, which, as you said, is the seat of the headquarters of the Pakistan army. What happens now? You said it's anxious times. Pakistan must step back. But Pakistan has been shelling massively at the line of control, especially in the Poonch area. We have the statement actually mentioned that as well, and I want to read out that bit as well. The statement says that Pakistan has increased the intensity of its unprovoked firing across the line of control using mortars and heavy caliber artillery in Kupwara, Baramulla, Uri, Poonch, Mender, and Rajouri. 16 innocent lives have been lost, including 3 women and 5 children. So India was also compelled to respond to bring water and arty fire from Pakistan to a halt. But the statement ends by saying the Indian armed forces reiterate their commitment to non-escalation, provided it is respected by the Pakistan military.
So, Barkha, I think that is an anxiety we must have now. You see, the population from Tangdar down to, the border areas, and Tangdar, Uri, and then, from Poonch right up to, Naushera, Aknoor, and down towards the Ivy sector. The villages and people are actually residing very close to the either the LOC or the IB, and they are tilling there. Their agricultural land, people have got settled out there, Araspura, etc. Now, these areas being hit, we are responding. We have to protect our people. Even if you ask them to vacate nowadays, to ask people to vacate from closer to the line of control, it's not very easy. They would much prefer to stay on their houses because they have made lives, big houses, nice. So we have to also contemplate as to how we can target the artillery batteries and whatever mortars and howitzers that the Pakistan army is using to target villages and cities. Punch is a huge place here. We have to now target those areas where the artillery batteries and all these howitzers are deployed, and they're targeting, so that we push them further away and protect our infrastructure and our also the houses and peoples who are still living back in these areas. So the casualties you hear of civilian population actually pains you immensely, but I think our focus has to be on this side also.
Now, after Operation Sindoor, we said that we had not hit military installations, we had not hit civilian areas, and even today the emphasis has been that this is retaliation for what Pakistan tried to do. Pakistan tried to engage military targets, including in the holy city of Amritsar, see to the Darbar Sahib. But today we have hit back at their air defense system. So the phase of this conflict where military installations were being avoided, is that phase over, General Sharma?
Follow what the Air Force is doing is to take out what we call it SIAD, suppression of enemy air defense system. This is the basic tactics which the Air Force does, that even before you start targeting hinterland, you have to take the air defense systems out. So I would think that the attempt today by ourselves is more focused of attempting to remove the air defense systems, and we've been able to remove Lahore's air defense system, which makes it Lahore becomes an open target for Indian Air Force to strike. Uh, that if that is a thought process for us, then it makes Pakistan even more vulnerable as to strikes by the Indian Air Force and by any other method. So I would think that what next is a very interesting question. What would Pakistan do hereafter? Would they do something tonight again? Maybe a better missile or maybe a ballistic missile or something like that. Well, that would escalate the whole thing beyond it. It will largely escalative, and we will be forced to respond by cruise and by BrahMos and by ballistic missiles in case we need to use the Agni series, etc. So we have great potency. So does Pakistan have, and that will escalate it maybe way too high. So I think this is time for Pakistan to understand that look, this is not the game they can play. We are way ahead into this warfare. The standoff is beyond visual range warfare. Also, it's not a question of a conventional superiority by ground forces. There are many other ways that they move forward, and it's a time for them to seek de-escalation. And if they do not seek de-escalation, then it may go out of control. We have yet not mobilized the armed forces. Barkha, very interestingly, till date, we have not mobilized the armed forces. We have not curtailed relief. So we are also in the game, and all our statements are de-escalatory in nature. We say so that what we are doing is not escalatory. Yesterday, the foreign secretary said we are not escalatory. And today our statement also says we are not escalatory. But the question is that events by itself do not do escalation dominance. It could escalate beyond control. So saner sense and saner thought process must prevail. Sometime the Pakistan politicians and Pakistan polity and maybe the junior lot of army officers should say, okay, enough, yeah, this is not the time to do all this and get your own people killed or hurt in this whole game. So they should take a step back. If they don't take a step back, then this is going to be a slogging match for both of us.
I want you to end with the significance of what has happened today. Again, I say, after the missile strikes on terror bases in Pakistan, India reiterated that military installations had not been targeted nor civilian areas. Pakistan tried to engage military targets across cities of Punjab, cities in Jammu and the cities of Jammu and Srinagar, as well as some places in the west of India. But multiple cities in Punjab, India has hit back in retaliatory action and targeted Pakistan's air defense systems and radars in Lahore, where it has neutralized an air defense system, in Sialkot, in Rawalpindi, in Karachi. In Karachi, too, if we can have that banner up, there are reports of a missile launcher having been taken out by the Indian retaliatory action. Could you speak about that, General Sharma, before we let you go? If you have any details about that.
So I haven't heard as to what exactly got hit in Karachi. It's very interesting to know what was the target and where did it land up. But the fact is that if we are able to reach Karachi, it is very significant. And because all the, see the kind of collusiveness, and when you study this, what Chinese have provided to them is very significant. And if there is less than successful, it also takes it challenges the Chinese equipment which have been provided here. So I would say that at this juncture, we have to wait and watch as to what's happened here and prepare our people. Now till yesterday evening, the mock drill was taken as, okay, it's a mock drill. But hereafter, there is nothing mock about it. It is actually truthful on the ground, and it's happening. And in our lifetimes, after 71, we haven't seen these areas ever being targeted in this manner. So we have to be now extremely watchful and to take all the instructions of civil defense very seriously, because the targeting is on cities. You see, Amritsar, when you say, when you stand in a field out here, when you see Amritsar nowadays nearly touches the border. The city is expanded so much. When you say Wagah, you used to drive 1 hour Wagah border. Now the whole thing is developed. There are banquet halls and marriage palaces all over the place. So to say that, a field has been hit, you pan the camera some other side, you would see proper pakka houses across there.
Correct.
So this isn't a front on an urban city and one of the most prominent cities that we have. So I think the reciprocal is too bad, and we need to be watchful on these issues.
All right, General Sharma, I can hear somebody trying to reach you. We'll let you go at this point. Thank you. You helped us understand. I just want to say to anybody watching this, please understand that this is an escalation that has taken place. Pakistan has tried to engage military targets in multiple cities of Punjab, as well as in Jammu and Srinagar and some parts of the West. India's air defense has hit back. It neutralized Pakistan's attempts, but it's now targeted air defense systems and radars in at least four cities that we know of in Pakistan: Sialkot, Karachi, Rawalpindi, and Lahore. In Lahore, an air defense system of Pakistan has been neutralized. Lahoris woke up to clouds of smoke, people coming out in panic on the streets. India has taken ownership of that action, and India's air defense was also able to reach Rawalpindi, which is the seat of the Pakistan army. I should also say in the end, that while what Pakistan has done is galling, what has been particularly enraging for India is the targeting or the attempt to target Amritsar, a holy city to millions of Indians right at the border. General Sharma, thank you, and we'll reconnect with you later. To our audience, keep watching us. We're on the ground in Punjab, which is emerging as the new frontier of rising tensions between India and Pakistan. Keep watching the Mojo Stories. See you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.